Okay, my friends, we are entering game number 4 here in our GenG Damwon series. And so far, I mean, the first 2 games were quite one-sided. I mean, Damwon made stuff happen in the early game, or Canyon made stuff happen in the early game. Just like this time, it looks like, counter gank by Canyon, and they get the back, and Doran, he's not even getting the kill onto Nuguri, so this just looks like a great start for Canyon once again. They have interesting solo lanes, let's keep it at that, but I mean in this case, this LeBlanc is not as bad as the LeBlanc prior by ShowMaker. Hopefully this time he can locate the correct items in the shop and can actually be relevant. There are not too many tanks, so that's the first step that he got right, picking it in a good situation. I think it was the 5th pick if I saw that one correctly. Again, Aphelios and Renata, just such a great bot lane. I really like that duo, obviously. Yeah, really working well against relative short-range champions or bruisers or whatever. It's not really what GenG has, but I mean against the top side or against Chovy, like I don't know, going for ego shuffles or whatever, that's going to be great. I mean, I don't know what's with this Renekton Gnar, man. I mean, I guess if LCK versus LCK, then we get LCK top laners. Anyway, Chovy again on the Azir as well, and obviously he's going to get a good farm advantage, but we'll have to see how much he can really make use of the champion in the later stages here. I mean, there are some targets to decently fight against, but I mean, the olds, man, it's just something else. Anyway, GenG here on the hot pursuit with a numbers advantage. They should be able to lock down the guy, and Doran comes and just steals the kill, man. Anyway, Damwon here fighting for the soul point already. GenG really have to make something, and Doran just goes in, and I mean, there's just, like, I don't know, man. ShowMaker's just buying so much time. They're not really going for any forward movement. Doran goes in, but there's just no follow-up. And I mean, I guess it's just a bit too early, right? I mean, it's 17 minutes. 17 minutes, Azir and Ruler, Jinx. I mean, look at their items. They're not ready yet for like insane team fighting. Whereas on the other side, Damwon here, I mean, not only are they again steamrolling the early game, even more so than the last one. Obviously, they drafted even more for it, and GenG, I mean, I don't know what's going on here. Damwon here, they're more and more drafting for early game throughout the series now. And on the other side, GenG, they're more and more drafting for late game scaling. I mean, sure, if you say we're the better team, then draft for scaling, but I would argue that the gap between teams here in this quarterfinals, besides like the ones that we already saw, right, the 2 ones, the gap isn't that big that you can just say, okay, we go all in scaling, we sack the entire like first 25 minutes of the game. And if the enemy team is actually good at snowballing, it's not going to get further than 25 minutes. Because, like, what are you going to do at this point? It's just, you can't play the game at all. Chovy is just no comparison to what ShowMaker can do, and the same goes for Ruler. And fuck Gnar, and I mean Peanuts and Lance, I mean they're amplifiers, right? They don't do much alone. Sure, they're going to get this Drake here, they brute force it, but hopefully they can, oh my god! The explosions, man. It's just going to be a clean ace here at this point. Absolutely destroyed absolutely everyone. Doctor with a massive ult. Obviously he is, I mean, if you didn't know, he was one of the best Aphelios players that we had in the LCK in the last couple of years. I mean, the last 2 years really, but giving him such a good angle. And again, like, look at the items. Obviously they're getting shit on, right? They have feces all over them, but sorry for the graphic speech, but like, how are they going to play? They don't have items. These champions need 2-3 items. They need levels. But if you draft all scaling and have no bridge champions whatsoever, I mean, your bridge is Gnar. Just come on, screw this. Damwon Kia, obviously they're the early game team. I mean, I could have fucking told you that. Obviously they're going to play through the early game. Obviously that's where they're strong. Obviously that's where they have been excelling at this entire tournament. And then they draft towards that, and you disrespect it again and again. Like with this, Damwon Kia just, like, if we get that another time, then it's just the easiest win, man. This highlight reel is like 4 minutes long. Because the actual game was just Damwon Kia dipping there. Okay. I mean, GenG, you need to wake up, man. Otherwise, you're going to be the biggest laughingstock of everyone, man. Just disband your team afterwards, because this is a fucking disaster. You're way better than the opposing team, but you are losing in draft so hard. And it's not really losing in draft in the simple sense, oh yeah, our team comp is enemy team comp is just bad. No, you're ignoring that draft is more than just a comp, man. Oh my god. It's just, how are they going to play? How are they going to play? Oh yeah, we have no pressure bot, mid, top, anywhere. And yeah, enemy jungler is also better, or like really good. Also has fucking 3 pushing lanes. What are we going to do? I do like 1, 2 items. First drake, second drake, third drake. Like, these are important questions that your draft has to answer. But no, just yeah, we're just chilling. We're just screw it, man. Like, if they play like this, then they deserve to lose. But this would be a fucking tragedy, because obviously GenG is the better team. But I don't know. Anyway, let's just go into the next one. My rant is longer than the gameplay. It's just wild. So game 5. Oh my god. How does it get to game 5, man? Anyway, we'll see each other then.